How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL live stream, and we're going to be looking at Game Week, double Game Week 24, and how we did in Game Week 23. I'll give you a hint, it was quite bad, and basically all the captaincy options I could have picked did better than the one that I actually ended up picking. And the benching headaches, the benching woes, the benching problems continue, and it's going to only get even worse this week. So yeah, without further ado, I'm already late because I had to reset the internet, and hopefully it holds out. So let's get into it. Yeah, internet was a bit of a problem, so I had to reset it. It looks like it still might be a bit of an issue, but hopefully, fingers crossed it holds. I might see a little bit of dropped frames, but apologies, can't really do anything about that. I did reset it and doesn't seem to be changing. Just want to do a shout out to Easy Breezy. Thank you for following. They did that while we were offline. So yeah. Hey Mono, how's it going? Hope all is well and you had a good game week. I had a pretty mediocre / bad game week. Lost 200k rank or thereabouts, so now we're down to 883k, which isn't ideal. We used both our transfers, but yeah, United won today, which is not bad. So mind you, the game was basically put me to sleep because West Ham basically went there to take it to penalties. So yeah, it is what it is. How's it going, Nuka? Bad game week, tanking hard. Yeah, I mean, these game weeks are gonna happen. I mean, I hate the game weeks where the captaincy option is so, like, it's so obvious yet it's so diverse in a sense, and it is becoming a bit of an annoyance. Like, Souček got his a red card rescinded. That's an extra 3 points I could have had. Calvert-Lewin getting a goal and an assist because United basically went to sleep on all 3 goals pretty much. Martinez had a worldie, even though the bookies had it favored Pope for the clean sheet. What else? Salah scored a penalty, which is fine. Pope had to make. There was only 2 shots on target against Pope all game. Both of them weren't threatening at all. One of them was from a set piece that went in because the guy on the post didn't do anything about it. He just left the post as the ball was coming in, which, why are you being put on the post? The other one was just a comfortable save, so he should have probably had a clean sheet. You know, I was debating whether the captain Antonio or Bruno or Bamford, and the one that I chose didn't get anything, so that's kind of annoying. The only real bright spark was the fact that I picked Sufal to start. He was the one I was pretty much certain about this week, and he got a clean sheet, so good there. Hey Zaka, how's it going? 85 points for you. That's a good game week, very good game week. Glad to see that. At least some people are having some good game weeks. Werner as a captain, he got what, 2 assists, I believe, or an assist or something like that. So he's slowly ticking along. He's got to start scoring though, obviously, but 10 points. Yeah, so you got what, 2 assists or whatever it was. What did Werner get? He got 2 assists. Yep. So you got 2 assists and 2 bonus points. Yeah, so not too bad. Same as Son as well. Son got 10 points. I can see you had a bad game week just like me. Yeah, there's quite a few bad game weeks out there. I only ended up with 48 points. Game week rank around 6 million, so I basically beat all the teams that were just dead teams, and some of those probably beat me too. But yeah, very, very unlucky week. In another world, I would have had an extra at least 8 points, because Burnley should have kept a clean sheet. And then potentially some bonus points for Pope. And Souček, obviously, if Mike Dean had a brain, basically, and was looking at it and saw that the elbow was accidental, then Souček would have had an extra 2 points at least. Maybe he would have given a yellow card, but yeah. Antonio, like, hardly touched the ball, which all the stats also said, like, hey, look, Antonio's looking really good, could potentially score and should have scored more. Fulham have conceded a lot of chances, and he just did not even touch the ball, which is, weird. And now he could potentially be injured, which is another bad thing, but yeah. It is what it is. 2 bad game weeks in a row. We're still inside the top million, which is okay. The benching headaches, those are going to happen. The frustrating thing is just when you see, like, burn your transfers that you bring in, on paper are supposed to do quite well. You bring them in intentionally for that reason, and then the players that you bench do better than them. Like, if I had just done nothing, I would have done way better. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, it happens that way. Happy with my boy Justin. Had him since the start of the season. Yeah, anyone who's hanging on to Justin, he is top 3, probably the worst things that have happened to me this FPL season. James Justin is one of them. Son and Kane just as a duo is another one. And then probably Bruno, maybe. I would say probably Bruno is probably one in there. Yeah, if you've had Justin since day one, then yeah, it's looking good. I would probably say a close fourth is my over-reliance on captaining Salah. Like, I've hit blanks with Salah so many times this season. And anytime I try to do, anything out of the ordinary, it just goes wrong. Like, I've tried to captain Son this season, blank. Tried to captain Antonio this season, blank. Tried to captain De Bruyne once this season, he's blank. Try to captain Bruno once and blank. This week I'm going with whatever. I'm gonna go crazy on this captaincy pick. I'm going probably in the Nick Pope era, and if he blanks, it is what it is. He should have kept a clean sheet at least in these 3 games. I expect Nick Pope Burnley should keep 2 clean sheets. They should. The stats show it and everything. Which means, so he didn't keep a clean sheet versus Brighton, which means he should keep 2 clean sheets this week. Just because of 2 out of 3 games should be clean sheets on paper. If he doesn't keep a clean sheet in any of these games, I don't know what to do. Like, just throw the stats in the bin and just forget about it, right? But that could all change with the results. So tonight we've seen Burnley lose to Bournemouth, which means that either Burnley, I believe it's Burnley versus Leicester. So let me just actually go, where is it to? 29. So the fixtures that are confirmed in this game week are that's 28. I was wondering why the fixtures look weird. Crystal Palace versus Man United is a blank because Man United went through. West Ham versus Arsenal will be in this game week. Fulham versus Leeds will be in this game week, and then either guaranteed Burnley versus Leicester or Brighton versus Newcastle will be in this game week too, because Brighton and Leicester play each other. Now, ideally, we would want some Leicester players to pick from. That'd be nice, because you want the better teams to pick from. But yeah, we'll get a lot of the results tomorrow. City and Wolves are almost certainly a blank. We'll know Everton, Spurs. We'll know a bunch of different ones tomorrow. We'll know Sheffield United as well. So we'll see. We will definitely see. I'm going Sterling captain this week. I wish I jumped on Gundogan train though. What a month for him. I would say players that I really like watching and really think that are good, I need to jump on them sooner because I think that they're so good. Like Grealish this season, I personally think Grealish is a very good player, but there are times where I find him so frustrating to watch in Villa because I'm like, if only you had players around you that could actually put the ball in the back of the net. So we'll see. At least 1 clean sheet for Pope plus bonus and save points and 2 points the second game. It will give him at least 10 points, and that's at least. Yeah, I can't see anything less than that. Sterling might not play 180 minutes. Sterling has only been benched in the games at home versus teams that are pretty bad. So against like anyone like in and around City, so like the top, the top 6, top 8, top 10, he always plays. And that shows. I can actually check that like right now. So Sterling, if we look at who he's played against. So Wolves away, played. So look at the games that he hasn't played. So Spurs away. I think he only played 18 minutes in this because he was injured, or he'd just come off a bit of a knock, or was like super tired. Burnley at home. He hasn't played Burnley at home the last 2 seasons, which is weird. Brighton at home, again, another team that's like down the bottom, that he didn't play full 90. Sheffield United at home, didn't play. So basically, if he's playing against a really bad team at home, he typically doesn't play, which is weird. It's just a bit weird on that front. At the moment, Grealish is the assist guy. The other thing is, Grealish is also an assister just normally as well. The problem is you got Ross Barkley blasting it over the bar. You got Ollie Watkins missing chance after chance after chance after chance. You've got El Ghazi or Traore. They're taking set pieces. It just doesn't make sense. Same bench at 27. How much did my bench have? My bench had 21, 22, 24. So, yeah. DCL and Dallas. Yeah, that's a yikes. I probably won't triple captain, though. Everton and Spurs aren't that good, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it depends. It depends on what chips you have. I think there's definitely going to be a better triple captaincy option in 26, almost certainly. But we'll see. Barkley's kind of ruining Grealish a little, just like Pogba ruining stuff for Fernandes. And no, the thing is, Barkley was helping out Grealish quite a lot. The problem is just people just squander chances. Like, Grealish is like, he can get an assist and get like 2 bonus points because of the amount of chances he creates throughout the game. It's just, they're just putting them over the bar. Like, it's like, I'm trying to think who's like a good example. It's like Bruno. Bruno, for portions of some games, could have had like 2, 3, 4, 5 assists in a game. It's just people are just like, players are just not taking their chances. I have a question on when to wildcard, bench boost, and triple captain. So most people, I'm gonna assume that you have those 3 chips, right? So if you don't, so this is how I would play it. If I have, it all stems on if you have the free hit chip left. If you have the free hit chip left, you could technically wildcard, once you see the FA Cup fixtures, you could wildcard for 25 as normal, and then use a couple of transfers to go into 26. And bench boost in 26, and triple captaincy wherever else, and free hit in 29. If you don't have the free hit chip, I would try to see if you can use your transfers to set up for the bench boost in 26. So you have no free hit left. Okay. So use your transfers, see what the double game weeks are going to be. Use your transfers to gear towards 26. Bench boost in that. Or if you have a good enough bench this week or next week too, it's also a double game week there. So you can potentially look there. But it's probably better in 26 because you have more likely chance of more fixtures on your bench that are doubles. And you can gear towards it a little bit. And then 29, you could bring in players for the blank for that game week, and then wild card out of it afterwards in 30. That's what you can do as well. And then again, triple captain wherever you feel like triple captaining. Just remember that if you wild card, you can't use any other chips with it. Yep, that is also important. If you wild card in a game week, you cannot pair it with something else. Any team altering chip, so free hit or wild card, you cannot use it in the same game week as another chip. So I can't wild card my team in 26, but also plan to use the bench boost. You can't do that. But you can still make transfers and use the bench boost in the same week, if you know what I mean. Like, you kind of do like a mini wild card if you save 2 transfers going into it, in that sort of respect. Also, once you activate the wild card in the free hit, you can't alter it. Whereas the triple captain and the bench boost, you can turn on and off. So, I got no idea when to use my wild card. The game week 29 confuses a lot. You will know a lot more after Thursday. So wait till Thursday, and I'll be looking at it a lot on the deadline stream too. I'll also be putting a video out to kind of see if I can break it down a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be like 4 matches. So the matches that are going to be confirmed for that, I'll just bring those up. So One of these two games here is definitely going to be in it. So either Brighton and Newcastle or Burnley and Leicester. One of those is guaranteed to be in it, and that'll be determined tomorrow. Another game that will be in it will be West Ham and Arsenal. That is 100% confirmed. And Fulham versus Leeds. That is also 100% confirmed. So 3 games at least will be in it. And then tomorrow we'll know more as to what potentially could be in it. But basically I'll be putting a video out on either Thursday or Friday. I might do the captaincy before it if I can get captaincy video on Thursday, and then see if I can get more information, then do it on Friday. And then we'll also be discussing it on the deadline stream and the previews and all that sort of stuff. Which one is the third match? So it's West Brom Arsenal, definite. Ben's schedule says 2 confirmed. Well, it's 3 fixtures confirmed, but the third one is either or. So basically tomorrow I think it's tomorrow, Brighton play Leicester. So whichever team wins, their fixture gets postponed in this game week and becomes a blank for that team. The other one's fixture will still go through. Because Burnley's out, because they got knocked out today, and Newcastle is out. So if Leicester win versus Brighton, then Brighton and Newcastle is in 29. If Brighton win, then Burnley versus Leicester is in 29. And then most likely the other one gets moved to 26, because that's typically what they do. There's a few weeks to get in from 26 to 29 and probably wildcard in 30. Yeah, basically, yes. And the winners of the games will be in 26 unless the opponent wins. Yeah, basically. So Brighton play Leicester in the FA Cup tomorrow. If Brighton win, this fixture here, Brighton versus Newcastle, is almost certainly going to be in game week 26 instead of this game week 29. And Burnley versus Leicester will stay in 29. And vice versa. That's basically how it's going to work. Yeah. Wilson got an okay game week 26 then? Yes. It looks on paper potentially like a decent 26 for Wilson. If Brighton were to win. What chips do I have left? I have all of them. Wildcard, triple captain, free hit, and bench boost. So at the moment I'm looking to potentially either set up my team or wildcard into a team that I can bench boost in 26, free hit in 29, and then use the triple captaincy somewhere. If I can get away with not using the wildcard for 26, I will. But again, we'll have to see. But again, the free hit could be pretty dull, for that week. But we'll have to see. For Game Week 29, could be quite dull. Might be better off just using it in a different week, But yeah, let's look at our predictions here. So let's see how we did. So we predicted Aston Villa to win over Arsenal 2-0. They won 1-0. So not too bad. And Aston Villa started off quite fast. So we get 1 point for that. Thought they would score more, but they won 1-0, and Ollie Watkins secures the double over Arsenal. Also, if you don't know the scoring, basically, if you get the exact score right, you get 3 points. If you get the result right, you get 1 point. And if you get it wrong, then it's 0 points. I have my 3 Leeds boys ready to go since that canceled that double game week, and I think it was in game week 18. Yeah, exactly. So if you got Leeds ready to go, I would say hang on to them. And wait for more news, because again, if I'm somebody thinking about making transfers this week, or if you're considering transfers this week, don't do anything until end of Thursday at least. Hope it's Bamford, Rafinha, and Dallas. Yeah, those are probably the three most popular ones. Burnley and Brighton was a 1-1. I predicted a 0-0, so I get 1 point there. Newcastle actually ended up beating Southampton 3-2. I predicted a 1-1. So no points there. West Ham, again, West Ham versus Fulham put me to sleep, literally. It was a 0-0. United versus Everton was a 3-3. Everton getting one at the last minute there. So not much there. Spurs West Brom predicted exactly right, so we get 3 points for that. 2-0. Leicester Wolves was again another boring game. 0-0. I predicted 2-1. City won 4-1 over Liverpool. That was just a mistake fest by just all over the place by the defense for Liverpool. So we get 1 point there. Chelsea won 2-1 over Sheffield United. So 1 point there. And then we predicted 2-1 over Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, again, without Zaha, don't look to be scoring very many goals or scoring at all. So we get 1 point there. So overall, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 points overall. Clean sheet, no Burnley. Goalkeeper, Sanchez didn't keep a clean sheet either. Ben Mee got a yellow card and didn't keep a clean sheet. Bernardo Silva, I believe, got a return. Yep, he got an assist. So we got that one. At least, right? So we got one differential because Willian Jose didn't score either. So Wolves are just bad. I don't even know why I picked him, to be perfectly honest. A lot of you in the chat said that Wolves were just bad, but yeah. Rumor says that the Liverpool will target Rafinha for the next season. I think Liverpool, assuming that they get into the Champions League next season, are going to go in heavy for one of like a top class forward to replace Mane, almost certainly. That's what I'm thinking. Because Mane wants to go to Barcelona with Wijnaldum, apparently. And they're going to go for a top attacker in that role. Hard to believe where he'll fit in. Yeah, Rafinha's a right-sided attacker, so Salah's the one they need to keep, because Salah's the one that actually is performing. Firmino just doesn't score, and Mane hasn't been scoring either. Rotation when Salah needs a break, it's the only position Liverpool don't have a backup for. I mean, yes and no. They can play Shaqiri there, but the problem is they've had Jota out as well, was their guy. And since Jota's been out, that's when Liverpool have actually declined, because he's something different. Erling Haaland would be awesome. I think Haaland is going to end up going to City, probably. That's just a hunch I have. Firmino is... yeah, he's not very good. He hasn't been good. Also, it's Firmino, not Firmino. There's no H in his last name. It's not like Fabinho. Jota is better on the left-hand side. Exactly. So that's why they would get rid of Mane. And you could play Jota there if you wanted to. But I think they're going to go in heavy, invest heavy in a like a world-class left-sided attacker. Personally. He's Brazilian. I thought it'd be automatic. Nope. Not automatic. I don't think they sell Mane, but what do I know? Well, Mane's kind of been like... this season hasn't been good for Mane, to be honest. He hasn't been scoring. His decision-making's been bad. And when he does get in the chances, he's been squandering them. He just seems super frustrated when he's on the field. Not really much he can do. Where Salah still at least scores. And keeps trying. I mean, Barcelona's not even a top 10 team in the world anymore. Yeah, it's just the image of the team. But will Barcelona get the money to be able to pay for Mane? I don't even know. But we'll see. It'd be interesting to see. I would never underestimate Barca. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's also a chance that Messi goes to Man City, which is another another whole thing in itself. That's still on the table. Yeah, if Messi goes to City, then it's definitely an interesting story. The coolest thing would be is if Messi went to City and Ronaldo went to United, and it was one last showdown between the two. That'd be sick. I would like that. That'd be really cool. Ronaldo at United, Messi at City, one last rivalry for the ages in the Premier League. Let's see what Messi has. Let's see if Ronaldo still got it. That'd be pretty cool. Ronaldo is done? No, I think he just plays in a system that is very, very slow and is lacking potential quality in it, to be honest. At the moment, I believe Zlatan's better than him because the system around Zlatan is working, whereas this, like, it's kind of catered to how he wants to play, whereas Ronaldo, you're not really getting the best out of, like Ronaldo. If Ronaldo is the top scorer, I'm not even sure if he is. Let me check. Let's see. Serie A top scorers. Yeah, Ronaldo has 16 goals. Yeah, but Ronaldo, that's the thing. Ronaldo is underperforming and he still has 16 goals. Like, it's pretty. People are saying Lukaku's having a fantastic season. He's only scored 14 or 13 or whatever it is. Yeah, it all depends on the fit. Like, because basically Juventus, they look at Ronaldo and like, oh, he jumps really high. Let's cross him the ball and just keep trying to see if he can head it in. Whereas Ronaldo can still do stuff with his feet. He can still run it behind. He can do all these sorts of things. Whereas Italy's a much slower game. Whereas I think the Premier League will suit Ronaldo because you could just keep creating chance after chance after chance after chance. And then he can do the poaching style that he kind of did. And he just has to do way less of the legwork, which is exactly what he wants to do. Yeah, the way Serie A wants to play is they want to have somebody kind of like their back-to-goal striker, and you just kind of put the ball in the air for them to head it, or that's about it, you know? Hey Mo, how's it going? Who do you think is the ideal, I assume? Idol is a different word, but ideal captaincy pick for Game Week 24? I think that Head says Gundogan, probably. Gundogan for double game week players. Single game week players, definitely Bruno. If you want to be Maverick, Pope, probably. Ronaldo's proven in any league he's a machine. Yeah, pretty much. At the end of things with Sterling, he could get potentially rotated, and sometimes he finds himself really wide in games. But Gundogan's form has been... I think Gundogan is like the top scorer over the last month, which is nuts. Like to say from somebody who's effectively playing as a box-to-box midfielder. But I think most people are going to go for Gundogan and Sterling. If you have one of those two in your team, it's probably going to go on them. If you have both, I would say choose from them. That's just me. But I wouldn't be surprised if a single game week player like Fernandes gets like 2 goals and an assist versus West Brom and beats everyone. Like, who knows? The thing is, if he does that, and you're one of those people that captain him, he's going to be under, he's going to be under 100% effective ownership because he's not going to be captain as much because he's not a double gaming player. So Gundogan will drop back down when KDB is back. He's kind of taking his role. Him and Cancelo are kind of doing that, yeah. To be fair. Lot saying Sterling. I have Stones, Cancelo, and Gundogan. Should I stick or change it? No, I'd stay with Gundogan, to be honest. It's perfectly fine. I think if you have both, then you have a decision. Because that's going to be a bit difficult. But if you have just the one, Gundogan. Yeah. Thinking of going wild and putting the armband on Ben Mee. I mean, you can do. I would say that if you have Pope and Ben Mee, probably Pope's better because he's better for bonus. And if they're going to keep a clean sheet, it's probably going to be Pope making saves. Because Ben Mee and Tarkowski don't rack up bonus like Diaz and Stones because they don't pass it to each other as much. But they could score from set piece, so we'll see. Alright, let's get into our predictions for this week. So, right off the bat in the early fixture, we got Leicester versus Liverpool. Liverpool haven't been in good form, but they have been better away from home in the last few because they've lost 3 in a row at home on the bounce. So what are we thinking for this one? Do we think Leicester takes this one or maybe a draw? I'd have to transfer out Justin to get in me. I mean, you can do. Liverpool almost certainly score, I think, versus Leicester. 1-0 Liverpool, says Nuka. 2-1 says Zodiac. 1-1. I was thinking I was going to go that too, to be honest. A 1-1 probably. Liverpool will grow some balls now. Yeah, I mean, maybe. What they honestly need to do is just say, okay, Jordan Henderson and Fabinho make our midfield fantastic. If our midfield is fantastic, we don't really need to worry about our center backs because we can recycle the ball and use our midfield as an engine room. So what you can do is you can either choose one of Henderson or Fabinho to play center back and then put one of the new guys like Kabak at center back and then use the other midfielder that you aren't using in midfield. So preferably, that's probably Jordan Henderson because of his energy. Just straight energy and leadership in its proper role. Fabinho played center back at Monaco quite a lot. He also played right back a lot. So you can put Fabinho and Kabak as your center backs because he's perfectly fine. I personally think that Fabinho and Van Dijk is the best center back pairing that Liverpool have because I don't think Gomez is very good. And I personally think Matip's actually slightly better than Gomez. And Gomez is not great. And then you play a midfield of Henderson who gives you the energy, Wijnaldum and Thiago, and you can push Thiago a little bit further forward. That's how I would do it. Crystal Palace versus Burnley. I don't see Crystal Palace scoring, to be honest. I mean, if you can't score versus Leeds, who literally give you the ability to score for free, you know, it's probably a 1-0 Burnley, right? Maybe they nick something on a set piece or something. 0-0 or something like that, maybe. I'm going to go 1-0 because Sean Dyche knows that they're out of the FA Cup now. They have to focus all their eggs in one basket now. I think a 1-0 is probably on the cards here. Man City versus Spurs. City at home. City have been on form. They finally conceded. But again, it was a Ruben Diaz mistake, which is not something you often see. 1-1, 2-1, 2-0. Remember, the reverse fixture was 2-0 Spurs as well. Kane will play in this game. 3-1 City. I just don't see... So, Liverpool are very dynamic on the break too, but again, Liverpool don't have Harry Kane, who's like kind of the X factor. And he's the one who could potentially cause City some problems. I'm going to back City though, and I think they still keep a clean sheet. And I think they just basically just man-mark Kane out of the game. Which basically, if you man-mark Kane out of the game, then you stop Son. Just literally do exactly what... who was it that did it to Kane? Basically, it was the team that just basically hacked Kane and caused him to get injured. What was the game that Kane got substituted at halftime? Oh, Liverpool. Yeah, you just had Thiago biting on his ankles basically the whole time. Brighton versus Aston Villa. What are we thinking for this one? Son most important against a high defensive line and Kane against low defensive lines. Yeah, because Kane can get in and around the box or create shots from outside the box. But the thing is, Kane is what makes Son good, too. That's another thing. 1-1. Aston Villa 2-1. 2-0 Villa. Yeah, I think Villa probably keep a clean sheet. I I'll say 2-0 as well, I think. I just think Brighton were very fortunate to even get a goal. And Villa's attacking stats are pretty good. Maybe it's probably 1-0. Could be 0-0 to be honest, but I'll go 2-0 Villa. I'll favor Villa. I like they've been playing good. In Brighton's defense, their stats have been showing quite well, but Villa are quite energetic and can match them and are just better quality. If you have to choose 3 between Alonso, Bamford, or Souček, Watkins, and Antonio, who would I start? So I got to choose 3 between Alonso, Bamford, Souček, Watkins, and Antonio. So I've been playing Antonio for sure. I'm playing Souček for sure, and then I would probably play Bamford if I could. That's what I play personally, but again, I don't feel comfortable with that because I think Watkins can still score versus Brighton. If Alonso plays versus Newcastle, I mean, he could be good too, so. But that's another thing with, like, Alonso. If he's going to play, he'll play the full 90, basically, almost certainly. Unless some injury or whatever. And same with Chilwell. It's vice versa. Southampton versus Wolves. Southampton have lost 5 in a row, I believe it is, but Wolves basically can't score. But Southampton are conceding goals to teams left, right, and center. 1-1, 0-0, 1-1. Do we think anyone's winning this game? If it was early in the season, I'd say Southampton would win this game comfortably, but I don't know. I think Southampton might just shade it, you know. I think Vestergaard's now back. He's got an extra week of training under his belt. I think they might nick it, to be honest. I'm going to go 1-0. Man United versus West Brom. I mean, this shouldn't even be a question. Southampton will rise soon. They are so strong, but the injuries are killing them. Yeah, and they're starting to get some of those players back. But West Brom versus United, what are we thinking here? Clean sheet and a wide margin victory, probably. 4-0 United. 2-0. United 3-1. Yeah, I'm probably just going to go 3-0, to be honest. United should be beating West Brom. Arsenal versus Leeds. Now, Arsenal are at home. Leeds have done very good away from home. And it might favor them, actually. The last time they played, it was an absolute shootout. And I'm surprised that Leeds didn't score 2 or 3 goals at least in that game. I think Leeds win this game, to be honest. I think Arsenal have a few injuries. And I think Leeds score a couple, probably. Because Arsenal's defense is not as good as what people think it is, to be honest. Also, remember, they don't have Bernd Leno. Which is a big part of why they keep clean sheets, too. Nuka's gone 2-1 Arsenal. I'm going to say it's even. I'm going to say potentially a Leeds. Maybe a Leeds clean sheet, maybe, but. Oba is useless. He's had some off the field issues which he's had to deal with, but again, I still think he needs to be playing through the middle, and I think he needs to be playing in the right system, but I'm going to go 3-1 Leeds. I think Leeds do well in this one. Everton versus Fulham, so this is one of their double game weeks. Double game week fixtures. Everton versus Fulham. I think Everton probably still concede, to be honest, in this one. But I think they win the game. 1-0 Everton. If I was Arteta and had to choose between Oba and Luiz, I would play 10 players. That's not very good. 2-0. 3-0 Everton. I'm probably going to go 3-1, to be honest. Fulham do concede a lot of chances from headers, but I don't think that Everton will keep a clean sheet because I think Fulham can still hurt teams if left unattended, as it were. So I'll go with that. West Ham versus Sheffield United. Let's hope Psycho Pickford is benched. Yeah, maybe that'd be probably beneficial for any Everton players. West Ham versus Sheffield United. I think it should be quite comfortable for West Ham. I think they should get back to winning ways here, surely. 1-0, 2-0. I think probably 2-0 is about right. If Antonio's back, it definitely helps them. If Antonio's not back, then they could potentially struggle to score, and it could be another 0-0, but we'll see. Chelsea versus Newcastle. Should be controlled from Chelsea, I think. Newcastle, I don't think are going to get much joy here, to be honest, the way Thomas Tuchel is playing. 3-0, says Zodiac. Mono says 2-0 for the West Ham game, yep. Werner will shine. I personally think that they should play like a Giroud or something in this game. Maybe Abraham. 4-0 Chelsea, says Mono. Because Newcastle are going to sit in a low block and they're just going to try to hit Chelsea on the break. That's what they're going to do. Giroud and Werner like last game, yeah, I can definitely see it. Maybe Werner wins another penalty or something like that, and just John Joe Shelby or Hayden just hack them down because they don't know how to tackle still. Yeah, I think 2-0 is probably fair. I don't see Newcastle getting much on the break, but I think Chelsea should win the game comfortably. This is Chelsea's big game, possibly. Burnley versus Fulham. What are we saying for this one? I think Burnley could be under siege here, but whether Fulham have the attack to break through Burnley's defense, I'm not sure. Nuka says 1-1. Zodiac says 0-0. Yeah, I think this could be the Burnley 0-0, to be honest. They'll probably likely score versus Palace because they concede a lot of headed chances. So do Fulham as well, but Fulham have a better goalkeeper than Crystal Palace. I think Areola is definitely better than Guaita, and the defense is better. But they're also going to leave themselves a little bit open, which Burnley I don't think is going to hurt them, wise. But maybe they get something on the break. I'm going to go 0-0 in this one too. And then lastly, Everton versus Man City. I think Man City have kept out a lot of teams, and I think Everton could be one of them. I don't see Everton getting much joy here, all things considered. 2-0 City, 3-0 City. DCL will not play. I don't think so. You don't think they'll play DCL in this game? I think they will. 3-1 City. They know it's a loss. Well, they could have said that about United too, potentially. He needs breaks. Well, he just came off injury, so he's had a little bit of a break, kind of. He might get a partial break in the FA Cup tomorrow versus Spurs, but they might put full strength, so we'll see. Yeah, but this is a double game week. Yeah, but you could say that about anyone getting a break. If it's a double game week for Man United, I think the likelihood of Bruno Fernandes getting a break is 0. Like, your key players play all the time. So, I'm going to say City keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0. Yeah, I think that's about right, to be honest. Fernandes hardly played today. Yeah, exactly. But then again, that's an FA Cup game, right? In the league, you know he's going to play pretty much every game 90 minutes, almost certainly. The league is your bread and butter. The league is where you get your European places. The league is where you play the majority of your games. Double City clean sheet. Yeah, possibly. I predicted both the double clean sheet, but yeah. King may come on at 60. Yeah, but that's probably... Remember, Josh King doesn't necessarily play through the middle. He could play out on the left as well. So that might mean Richarlison gets hooked earlier. I think if you don't have DCL on the field, like you're just already gimping yourself from the beginning, because DCL is just so good, and so the reason mainly where the majority of their goals come from. So clean sheets and differentials. Clean sheet. I think Burnley's guaranteed a clean sheet this week, almost certainly. If they don't get a clean sheet, then stats lie. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. In goal this week, I could only have basically picked from one of the double game week goalkeepers, and it just makes sense. Nick Pope. If you're going to go for a goalkeeper this week, Nick Pope is the one. He's 13.9% owned. Yes, that's above 5% and not necessarily a differential pick, but it is what it is. King on the wing and Richarlison as attacker, that can work. Yeah, exactly, that can work too. And maybe he sacrifices a Wobie to do that or something. I don't know. In defense, I've gone with Michael Keane for Everton. He's definitely due a set-piece goal and is up against Fulham, who are very weak at set pieces and conceded, I think it's second most headed attempts over the last 4 game weeks. Or first. They're up there with Crystal Palace, basically. And he's known to head the ball in the back of the net from set pieces. So if you're looking to still look potentially for the Everton clean sheet plus a potential attacking return instead of Digne, Keane could be your guy. In midfield, I've gone with Adamana Lukman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. From Fulham. Again, his double game week isn't the greatest. He's up against Burnley away and Everton away. But could potentially get something. Could potentially nick something. Maybe get something. I think he's more likely to get something in the Everton game for sure. Because he could potentially hit them on the break. So, cheap midfielder. I think he's 5 million. 1.2% owned. Could be a bit of a differential. And in the forward line, it was very hard to find one. But I went with Vidra, mainly because I think Chris Wood is going to be out. And Vidra seems to be getting a lot of the attempts on goal. And when it came to who got subbed today for Barnes in the FA Cup game, it was Jay Rodriguez. So I think Vidra provides a little bit of pace in behind. And he's been getting in the box and getting shots off. So he could potentially be, I think he's 4.8 million, 0.7%. Could be a bit of an interesting one, but I don't expect too much from him. That's why he's a differential pick. But could potentially get something. Swapped injured Reguilon for Digne and Souček for Westwood this week. Well, Souček's red card was rescinded, so he could still play versus Sheffield United. But you've gone with a double game week player, so it doesn't matter too much. Also, Westwood's on a lot of the set pieces, so that's not a bad shot either, I think. But yeah, so this is how the team currently looks as it stands. So we currently have the captaincy on Nick the Pope in goal as it stands. We got Ben Mee, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones in there, all double gaming players. We've got Souček, Salah, Fernandes, Antonio, Bamford, and Calvert-Lewin with Soufal, Son, and Barnes on the bench. I'm not happy about having to bench Son because I think he's probably more threatening than Salah, but Salah seems to be the only one stepping up for Liverpool, so could be something there. And if I'm going to want to back a team, I'd rather back City FPL-wise, even though I don't really want to do that because they're kind of running away with the league, but, Double game week, and I didn't know Souček red card was cancelled. Yeah, it was. So he can play this week. But you can just go to Rafinha. You can go to Rafinha next week. So you can get the double game week this week with Westwood. Because it's not guaranteed that Souček's going to score versus Sheffield United. And he can just easily go from Westwood to Rafinha next week. That's what I had planned to do with Souček anyway. He was only going to stay for this week for me, and then he was going to turn into Rafinha. Yeah, Westwood's not terrible. I believe he is on set pieces, but again, what can you expect from a Burnley midfielder? Not much, but he is on for 90 minutes every game, as we can see. So maybe get something. I mean, the dream would be him. If you have Ben Me as well, him swinging a ball into Ben Me and Ben Me nods at home. That's when you're in the ultimate differential points, you know? That's when you're looking real good. But yeah, I'm not excited about this double game week at the moment because I'm not sure what my transfers. Excuse me. What my transfers are going to be this week. Not sure why I'm yawning. I should be excited about double game weeks. But if Antonio's out, then I want Sufal to be the first sub because I don't think Son's gonna have much joy versus City, and Barnes. I mean, Barnes will probably score a hat trick on my bench, so who knows? Because we've had benching headaches in the past, but we'll see. Tarkowski or me? Well, Ben Me has scored twice from set pieces this season, but Tarkowski was the he did have an attempt from a set piece in the last game that they played. And it's probably just as good. Ben Mee's the captain. I guess there's that. Also, Ben Mee got a yellow card last game, so the likelihood of him getting a yellow card in back-to-back games, I guess you can say it's not as likely. I don't know. But it is what it is. I think Ben Mee just because he's cheaper. But who knows? Pope Captain is a bit wild for my taste. Yeah, I know it's a bit out there, but again, the stats, like if you look at, so the last time they played Crystal Palace, they won 1-0 and he got 10 points. And the last time they played, they haven't played Fulham yet, because that's a blank game that they had. Have suspensions finished yet? Yeah, suspensions have been finished. So basically the way it works is suspensions, you get suspended for a game if you pick up 5 yellows before your team, your club, plays 19 games. And then it's like you get suspended for 2 games if you pick up 10 yellows before like 27 games played. And then it's like 3 games if you pick up 15 yellows before 32 games played. Something like that. If I remember correctly. There's a... I think it's on the Premier League site somewhere. But that's typically how it is. I'd go Diaz instead. Well, if we look at the last time, well, they haven't played Everton again because it's a game that they're making up. But the last time they played Spurs, they lost. They lost 2-0 versus Spurs. So one of City's 2 losses the whole season, if I remember correctly. Yeah, City have only lost twice this season. It was Spurs, and there was one other. They lost one other game. Unless I'm blind. Yeah, City have lost 2 games. I don't know. I can't remember which one apart from the Spurs one. Do you think Gundogan could be rested? No chance. He's too good at the moment and too important. The form is really different now than it was then. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But again, City are going to play pretty much what we expect of them. They're going to retain a lot of the ball. They're going to press high up the pitch. And Spurs are going to basically do the same thing. They're going to get the ball to Kane. Kane's going to try to find Son. He's going to try to run him behind. if he gets him behind and he ends up getting in front of the goalkeeper, he's going to put it in the back of the net. So that threat is still there. And it's not like Spurs' squad is bad. Spurs' squad is definitely very good. And they can hurt them. And Mourinho is definitely going to want to get a double over Pep Guardiola. It's not really often you can say that. He's already won one game. And he could potentially... It could also galvanize their season. It can also put a little bit of a worry into City, into potentially going into a bit of a rut as well. Because they've been flying. And all good things come to an end at some point. So maybe it is versus Spurs. We'll see. When is KDB back? Probably for game week 25 or 6. So 21st of February would be 25. So he'll be back in time for the big double game week, probably. But we'll have to see. Yeah, it is interesting with the City versus Spurs game. It could potentially play out just the way it happened the last time they played, but it could also play out the way the Liverpool game versus Spurs played out too. Gotta save double transfer to get him back. It's annoying for how expensive he is, or you could just wildcard him in. That works too. If you're not bench boosting for 26, you can always just wildcard for that game week. Easy to do. Like, if you don't have a bench boost, but you have a free hit or your wild card, chances are it's probably going to be pretty good if you can use one of those chips there. Probably. If you're bench boosting, then you probably wild card into a bench boost type thing, or use transfers into a bench boost there. But like me, I didn't know if I was going to be using my wild card potentially this week to go into double game week 24 and then, you know, alter things so that it's ideal for game week 26 to bench boost. I didn't know that. So I used both my transfers to bring in players that I knew had doubles in game week 24. So that's what I've gone with. I might wild card in 25. I might not wild card at all. Who knows? But yeah, saving 2 transfers for KDB typically is how you get him back. Unless you're getting rid of like Salah or Fernandez, which probably don't necessarily want to do. Use wildcard in 19. Got 132 points that week. Yeah, that'll do it. If that was your second wild card, then yeah, you're also without a wild card for the rest of the season too. And you had Justin on the bench go 14 points. Yeah, could have been even better. But yeah, I mean, for me, if I'm looking at it, if you have all your chips, I think, look, this how I would strategize it is free hit in 29, keep your triple captain and use it on a double game week player that you see fit that isn't in 26, and then either wild card wherever you feel like it, like when you see it needing fit, or use it to just alter your team, or use it to get players in at 25 to set up for 26. If you have no free hit, then potentially use your wild card to get out of the players you bring in for 29, and then use transfers to set up yourself for a bench boost in 26. If you have no bench boost, but you still have a free hit and a wild card, then set yourself up with transfers and triple captain in 26 or wild card in 26, and then free hit in 29. Because you don't need to get bench players because you don't have bench boost. If you have just a free hit and your team doesn't look good for 26, then you can free hit for 26 and then use transfers for 29. But in that case, I'd probably save the free hit for 29 and just use transfers for 26. Because a lot of the players that are going to double, like Man City, like Manchester United, Spurs, Villa, you know, all these players that people probably have are going to double in that game week, almost certainly. That's kind of what we have to pay attention to. Let's actually go take a look at, if I can find it. I'm going to bring up Ben Krellin. So if you know... where's Ben Krellin? Ben Krellin. All right, there we go. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. So the double game week chance that is almost 100% likely to happen, or like the ones that are very likely to happen, are like these ones in green, or whatever color this is. So City's going to play West Ham and then either Wolves or Southampton, and then they'll probably have a double in 27 too, based on the way the fixtures kind of work, basically. So you can guarantee City's going to double. It's a very likely chance Everton will double. Very likely chance Burnley will double. Leeds will have just a single because they're having their double in 25. And I believe Leeds will not have any more blanks or doubles for the rest of the season, assuming that that they don't have any more postponements. Champions League next week will start messing things up. I just have that feeling. Pep Roulette starts to spin hard. Yeah, I mean, that could definitely happen. But yeah, these, like, so basically what we're kind of looking at is like Man City is going to have a double. Aston Villa will probably have a double and potentially have a double afterwards, and maybe in 28 as well. Spurs will have a double. Man United definitely have a double. Crystal Palace have a double. And then some more likely doubles is going to be like Wolves, Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea. But again, we'll know a lot more tomorrow. So when Man City beats Swansea, because I expect them to beat them, the Man City versus Wolves fixture will be a blank. Everton beating Spurs would be an interesting one, because that means Spurs versus Southampton could potentially be a blank. But the ideal thing would be Spurs just beats Everton. Because if Spurs beat Everton, then we have Everton versus West Brom in the 29 blank, and that's fantastic, because that means you can just get triple Everton. Off you go. Because the last time they played them they won like 5-2 or whatever it was. So it makes it real easy for free hit teams. But it also makes it that if you have double game week Everton players, you can hang on to them until 29. So it's also possible. But if I remember correctly, Everton players don't have a good run between now and then. Yeah, 25 Liverpool, 26 Southampton, 27 Chelsea, 28 is would be fine. 29. But again, they could also potentially have a double in 27 or in 28 too. So we shall see. But again, depends on how they want to schedule it. But teams that I would like to see have a double, would be Brighton, because Brighton have West Brom and Newcastle. That'd be an easy way to get some defense in there. And then probably Leicester would be an interesting one too. Yeah, we're just about to wrap up here anyway, Mana. So have a good night. Yeah, just wanted to kind of take a look at this. But yeah, we'll definitely know more tomorrow. And then definitely pretty much the most we're going to know on Thursday. And then we'll just need the confirmations from the Premier League. So, yeah. So we'll take a look at that on a video, either Thursday or Friday. The captaincy video and that video are either going to be Thursday and Friday. And then we'll talk more about it on the deadline stream too, which we will be doing as per normal. But yeah, let's run through the lineup. So currently have Pope captain, Ben Mee, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Souček, Salah, Fernandez, Antonio, Bamford, and Calvert-Lewin vice captain, with Martinez, Kufal, Son, and Barnes on the bench. Yeah, let's move over to the big screen. So yeah, thank you all for watching. As we normally do, we will be doing more videos throughout the week. So it's going to be Pep Roulette after City's game tomorrow. We will also be doing a captaincy video on the Thursday or Friday. Haven't decided yet. And then, depending on how much information we actually get, almost certainly, from the fixtures that are being moved from 29. Because that's typically how they do it. Any fixture that's a blank in 29 most likely gets moved up to 26. So we'll know pretty much what those fixtures are going to be after Thursday. So whether I wait till Friday to do that video and I did a captaincy video on Thursday, we will be doing some video where we'll basically take a look at the fixtures. And then, as per normal, we will be doing a deadline stream over on Twitch, which is the 13th of February. That's on this Saturday, and it starts off with Liverpool and Leicester for the 12:30 UK kickoff time. So right off the jump. So we'll be up 1 hour before the deadline, which is an hour and a half before the first kickoff. So 5 a.m. EST as per usual. So make sure to come check us out. There will be a pinned comment down below so you can check out what time that is going to be if you're watching this over on YouTube. And if you are, make sure to come check us out over here on Twitch for the live stream for the deadline stream. And also, if you're watching this on YouTube, because you will see that if you do go on YouTube, have new little social animations. You probably would have seen them, and potentially you've seen them just gone a few seconds ago. But yeah, we got a couple of different social animations, and we've fixed something to where the rendering is a little bit better as well. Because I noticed there was like a color change, which I posted on Twitter about. So, but I found out what that was. It was just one of the render settings. So we've gone. Hopefully that's going to be fixed when you see this in the video. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.